Hello, this is Mark from MLB DFS Weather.com. You can find me today over at dailyfantasycafe.com in the forums and on Twitter at DFCafe. My Twitter handle is MLB DFS Weather, but I won't be there today. Anyways, today is the 1st of July, and guess across the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic, fireworks will come a few days early as we have this area potential for some strong thunderstorms this evening. Unfortunately or fortunately, whenever you look at it, there are 4 games that are enclosed either in or very close to this area. That is the Nationals at home, the Phillies, the Mets, and the Red Sox. So those 4 games look like they have the potential to see some rain. And the 5th game that has a very small chance for some rain is in Atlanta. So let's go game by game here and take a look and see what we got. Okay, first game is Washington. They have a weird start time of 6:05. I mean, it doesn't look that active. I mean, what this radar image for about 6 o'clock this evening shows is that there will be some scattered showers and thunderstorms around. Now, if this guy right here was sitting right over the stadium at 6 o'clock, they would have a tough time starting that game. But look at all the empty or dry areas that will rotate in. That's why I think the chances of postponement are going to be very low, but there could be a delay. So that's that game. Second game is Kansas City at Philadelphia. Anytime you have an interleague game, generally they try to do their best to play those games because those Kansas City isn't coming back to Philadelphia again this weekend, and a doubleheader isn't exactly what they would want for later this weekend. I should say that Kansas City isn't going to come into Philadelphia later this season, so they do everything in their power to get that game in. As you can see, here's DC down here. Philly, the thunderstorm activity is forecasted to be a little bit more concentrated. Certainly not a postponement guarantee or anything like that, but the risk is there and it's a little bit higher because there's more stuff around. Again, just like DC, there's plenty of dry air and the thunderstorms are going to be moving in dry areas. I mean, so not tremendously concerned about a postponement, but we'll keep an eye on it. Next one is the Cubbies at the Mets. Again, it seems like the further north we go, the more concentrated the line of showers and thunderstorms is going to be, and that's the case up here. Again, postponement doesn't look likely to me, but the chances of a delay are becoming higher and higher. And last but not least, we have the Angels are visiting the Red Sox. Now, this is a pretty solid line of strong to perhaps even severe thunderstorms up here in eastern New York and then across Vermont and New Hampshire. But at game time, the forecast is that this line is obviously well west of Boston. That means they'll start dry, and then because of this line of coming in, they'll have the potential for an in-game delay threat. But thunderstorms generally from the New York-Mass border heading east are gonna take a good 2 hours to get into the city of Boston itself. That would mean that this line isn't there until 9 p.m., which means they get most of the game in. So our worry is this stuff over here. It looks like there's some thunderstorms and showers that try to develop ahead of this main line. The risk there is that if one of these showers and thunderstorms, and notice this is the only really one. I mean, we have this blob here and a couple of things here, not a big deal. Were to be over Fenway Park, then you would talk about a delay on top of this coming in, then we have some issues. So as long as anything doesn't form out ahead of this line and infect the Red Sox, we should be good for today. But in case something does happen like that, that's what we have to look out for. Last but not least, like I said, mention Atlanta. Very low chance, but there was a low chance of it last night, and one of those thunderstorms just happened to back on up and get over Turner Field, and was called at Fulton County Stadium. Luckily, it didn't last too long, and the starting pitchers were even able to get back into the game, or at least I know the starting pitcher from Miami, Chen, was. Going through some good hitting and Poor hitting environments, good. I have Toronto, Washington, Philly, Boston, Atlanta, Houston, Arizona. Should note for people that play like a main slate of games that the Toronto game starts at 1 and the Washington game starts at 6. So a lot of places, those two games may not even be on the slate anyway. So if that's the case, we're looking at Philly and Boston, Atlanta, Houston, and Arizona. Probably my favorite park there in terms of hitting is the Red Sox. The wind is going to be blowing out towards the monster. And left, it's mild. It's fairly humid. This is kind of one of the first games where you can say that the wind is squarely blowing out to left at Fenway Park. Fenway Park and Wrigley Field can play much differently when the wind is blowing out than when the wind is blowing in or when it's chilly. Poor hitting environments, Tampa Bay, that's a dome. St. Louis, winds blowing in, the air is very dry. And then we have Oakland, Seattle, and San Diego. Air is all dry there, helping the pitcher. Should note that roofs will likely be closed in Houston and in Arizona. Houston, because of the threat of some thunderstorms. Arizona is actually the threat of some thunderstorms as well, but probably the bigger case is it's very hot as well. I think that about covers it. Good luck to everyone. Again, I'll have updates throughout the day as we get closer to the game time. I'll start sharing some radars for the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic, some updated simulated radars as well, and I'll continue to update you via DF Cafe on Twitter. Have a good one.